In the village of Obanla, strength was everything. Men were warriors. Women were expected to cook, farm, and obey. That was the way it had always been. But then there was Zainabu. From a young age, Zainabu was different. While other girls learned how to pound yam and braid hair, she watched the boys wrestle in the village square. She studied their moves, their strength, their mistakes. At night, when no one was watching, she practiced. She lifted heavy stones. She climbed trees. She fought shadows. People laughed at her. A girl cannot become a warrior, they said. Zainabu never argued. She simply kept training. One afternoon, during the annual wrestling gathering, the strongest boys in the village gathered to compete. Zainabu stepped forward. "I want to fight." The entire village burst into laughter. Even the elders shook their heads. "This is not a place for games," one man said. But Zainabu stood firm. "I am not playing." Finally, a young man named Bala, known for his strength, stepped forward. "I will fight you," he said with a smirk. The drums began. The crowd watched, amused. But within moments, Zainabu moved like lightning. She dodged, grabbed, and flipped Bala to the ground before anyone could understand what happened. Silence fell, then shock. No one laughed anymore. After Bala's defeat, pride was wounded. Another man stepped forward, then another, then another. Zainabu defeated them all, not with brute strength alone, but with speed, strategy, and discipline. She studied each opponent. She waited. She struck at the right moment. By sunset, she had beaten every man who dared to challenge her. The village was no longer laughing. Now they were uneasy. That night, the elders gathered. "This is not natural," one said. "She is bringing shame to the men," said another. "Women will no longer respect us if this continues." Some suggested banning her. Others wanted her punished. But the oldest elder raised his hand. "No," he said. "Strength is not shameful, but pride is dangerous." They agreed on one thing. Zainabu must be tested. The next morning, the elders called Zainabu. "If you are truly as strong as you claim," they said, "you will face Sarkangoma." Sarkangoma was not from their village. He was a legendary warrior from a distant land, a man no one had ever defeated. Even hearing his name made strong men uneasy. Zainabu did not hesitate. "I will fight him." Days later, Sarkangoma arrived. He was massive, calm, dangerous. He looked at Zainabu and smiled slightly. "You are the one?" Zainabu nodded. The entire village gathered. Even neighboring villages came to watch. The drums began slowly. This fight was different. Zainabu attacked first, but Sarkangoma blocked her. For the first time, she was pushed back. The crowd gasped. The battle was intense. Strength met strategy. Speed met experience. Zainabu fell once. Then she stood again. She remembered her training, her struggles. Every moment she was mocked. And then, she changed her approach. Instead of fighting his strength, she outsmarted it. She waited for one mistake. Just one. And when it came, she struck. With precision and timing, she brought Sarkangoma down. The ground shook. Silence filled the air. Then an explosion of sound. She had done the impossible. Sarkangoma stood up slowly. He looked at Zainabu and bowed his head. "You are a true warrior," he said. That moment changed everything. The men who once mocked her now respected her. The elders stood in silence. Then the oldest elder spoke. "Today, we have learned something." From that day forward, things began to change in Obanla. Girls were allowed to train. Strength was no longer limited by gender. Zainabu became more than a fighter. She became a teacher, a leader, a symbol. And whenever young girls doubted themselves, the elders would say, "Remember the one who defeated every man and changed a village forever." Moral of the story: strength does not belong to one gender. Courage, discipline, and wisdom define a true warrior.